Hello! You may have heard of this very exciting petition that needs to get to 150,000 votes to be considered. And the petition is to stop the 33% downgrades of 2020 A-level and GCSE results. The petition claims that the government department responsible for this has decided in their wisdom to reduce those grades by 33%. Which grades? The grades that your teachers have given you. So this whole controversy started by Will Hazel on June the 18th, writing for the I newspaper, with this sensational subheadline: "Students and school backlash is expected on results day in August because proposed grades are set to be cut down." He goes on to say, according to one estimate, if GCSE grades in England were to be kept in line with 2019 results, around a third, that's where the 33% comes from, around a third of teachers' predictions would need to be shifted downward. This sounds like a scandal, doesn't it? Next, he is forecasting a potential social media storm. Well, here we are with the petition. A social media storm. "The system is going to go bonkers," one source said. Well, it isn't going to go bonkers, and I will show you why in a minute. And part of the reason why is that teachers always over-predict their students' results. Have a look at this. For example, and this is in the same article by the way, in 2019, just 1 in 5 students applying to university met or exceeded their UCAS predicted grades. So what does that mean? It means 4 out of 5 students had their grades over-predicted. So we know that historically, that's what teachers do. They want the best for their children, for their students, and they believe that they will work really hard, and so they predict the best grades that they can. How do we know whether that's happened with the current round of GCSEs and A-levels? Well, that's a good question. Let's find out. And believe it or not, the government and the exam boards got together way back on the 15th of March when lockdown first happened and said, look, we know there's going to be a problem with predicted grades. What are we going to do about it to make sure it's fair for everyone? And after they had consulted every school in the country, this was the result, this publication. You can find this document for yourself at assets.publishing.service.gov.uk if you wish. Well, let's go to page 9. Here, Ofqual say, look, we know that grading judgments in a subject in some schools and colleges appear to be more severe or more generous than in other schools. Well, we need to ensure fairness. How will we ensure fairness? Well, the exam boards will adjust the grades for some or all of those students in a particular subject, upwards or downwards, depending on whether those grades look realistic. This isn't some new crazy idea the government has just thought up. It's something they knew they would have to do right from the beginning. Well, how did they know, Mr. Salles? How could they possibly know that teachers would predict grades which are too high? Over half the secondary schools in England took their predicted grades and sent them off to an organisation called FFT, the Education Data Lab. The FFT's job is to look at the statistics of grading every year. When your school sets you a target grade, where do they get that target grade from? They get it from the FFT. And so nearly 2,000 secondary schools in England sent off their results to FFT before sending them into the government and said, look, these are the predictions we're making. Do they seem realistic to you? And this is what FFT found. In the pink, these are the results that students got in 2019. In the blue, these are the predicted results that your schools are making for you. And as you can see, in every subject as we go through, they're predicting much higher than students got last year. Let's scroll down for a closer look. And look, we go all the way down to English literature, which seems to have the best prediction that's most in line with last year, but every single subject in the country has been over-predicted. So yes, the exam boards will have to take those predictions and reduce them slightly for some students in some schools. Now, of course, this pattern isn't true of every single school. You might be in a school where results have not been over-predicted compared to last year. Will the exam boards still reduce your school's results? No, they won't. But where they can see that a school is over-predicting, they will adjust those results. Now, here's the good news. They won't just look at your school and say, oh, you're over-predicting, and therefore we're going to reduce all your results. No, it's going to be incredibly fair. They're going to look at each individual subject and only reduce results in subjects where they need to. So if we go back to the petition, the government has not said we're going to move 33% of grades down. This is just one person's estimate based on the figures I've just shown you. Well, you can clearly see from this picture that in many schools the results need to be brought down. Because let's imagine you're in one school here and in the school next door, all the teachers have over-predicted for all their students. Well, that's not fair, is it? You'd want that school's results to be made fair and those grades to be brought down so that they were in line with your grades. So don't let the social media sensationalism get to you. Most of you are going to get the grades you deserve. Good luck. See you soon on my channel.